Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille and today is, let me see, 2nd of May 2020. Welcome to video number 127. Today we're going to talk about when and how let your girl go. And it's going to be kind of a video talking more about this aspect based on last two videos that I've recorded. So, if you watch those videos, that was something that I thought I would have to close this trio somehow because, there are situations when you just have to do this. But let me start with showing you this t-shirt. There is no place like Warsaw. I got this t-shirt from some of my friends when I was living in Warsaw, coming here to Vancouver, Canada, where I'm here right now. And maybe it's some kind of cheesy way, but I thought to myself that exactly as I felt then, I felt cool in being with them, and we met with in a restaurant. I invited some of my friends where we were. It was like a fareway party, because I just left the job a few months before, and then we were leaving, so that was kind of combined two in one. And they gave me this T-shirt just to remember this time that we spent together. It was so awesome, and I really loved this. This people loved being there. I spent 12 years in the company. That was awesome. But you see, the same way it happens when we start our relationship and we start to building it and so on, and everything goes well until it doesn't. And when we're talking about the situation when you get to the point that you feel that you have to let her go for whatever reason, this is not really easy thing to do, but maybe even more because it's not an easy thing to do. We may do a lot of mistakes that can haunt us for years. So that's why I want to talk about it. So if you're in the place that you start to think about it, or you're close to it, so you would have like at least short guidelines. And because I talk about a lot of positivity, but now let's talk about something hard. Some of you from time to time would have to face somehow. So if you got to the moment that you're thinking about it, and you know that it's time, then I want you to think about three things. As usual, I talk about three things most of the time. First of all, I want you to kind of really rethink what is really the reason you want to let her go. It might be easy in some situations, like let's say we talked yesterday about it. Maybe she cheated on you, and you have like very strict, religion background, and you say the moment some side cheats, it's not possible to continue, or not acceptable to continue the relation because of that fact. And then it's, from my perspective, that's your belief, and she knew about it, and even though she did something like this, you've got full right to say sorry babe, but you knew, and sorry, but I have to let you go. It's not acceptable for me to continue like this. But many times, especially because in this time we have this kind of concept of jumping from one relationship to another, especially if you're not having a backbone based on some kind of morality, based on religion or whatever. It's getting common right now, and everything. We are in this kind of sexual revolution 2.0, that we kind of do this all the time. So for many of you, it's like, okay, I'm gonna let her go, and what? But you've got to understand that the farther you go in your years, the farther you get to the moment that you start to respect yourself, you start to see that if there is no real reason to let her go, it's letting her go from your perspective should be like not feel like a failure, but if it's like you've got to understand that you decide if you let her go. So if you use like a banal reason, or like some flaky reason to let her go, it tells more about you than about her. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I want. This is why I try to push you to really make a list of things. Why, for real, be honest with yourself. Why do you want to let her go? Because if you look at the statistics and look at What people say when they got divorced, many times after a year or two, nobody remembers why they got divorced. Because most of the time we argue, something goes bad and so on, and our irritation on being annoyed with the situation that you find yourself in and ends in us splitting up, but it's all based on emotions, not on real reasons. Because many times, if you see statistics say that, beside those things that are about, like cheating or stealing, about money or sex, most or many of the divorces are based on really benign things. They're kind of stuck upon each other, and then out of emotions we say we cannot stand it anymore, and then we quit. So that's why, because as I said yesterday as well, I would always push you towards trying to rebuild your relationship, especially if you're in it for a long time. Why would you just destroy just because you're annoyed? So that's why, if you do the list, read it, and really think, if your friend would try to divorce his wife after 5-10 years with this list, would that be valid kill? You know what I'm saying? Is that something that makes sense? Because maybe it's just emotions. And then if you have this list, then you'll be able to decide, and then ask yourself, if in a year or two, when you'll try to rebuild your relationship with someone else, and you're gonna go, start from zero again and try to do this thing over and over, will that be a thing that you might regret? Because the list was like, meh. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, really think about if this is the real reason, or you have enough, maybe not even enough, if you have valid reasons that you would not regret if you let her go based on them. Second thing that I want you to kind of really think through is that whatever you think and whatever you do tells more about you than about her in that particular situation. So it's not only what you do, but how you do it. I want you to really be sure that if you really see the reason that you want to let her go, and you've got it listed, you really had time to think about it, I want you to be able to tell her why this is happening. Because maybe that's going to be the first time that you talked about it. Maybe there's the first time that you had some clarity to understand what is not working. And maybe that's going to be the moment that you will be able to say, listen, maybe now when we know, maybe we'll be able to rebuild it. Maybe now when we know it, we'll be able to try to find solutions. But to do this, you'll have to have no emotions, no screaming, no yelling, no telling, get out of my face. So that's why know why you're thinking about letting her go. Make the list and present it to her. Show it to her. If she'll decide to work on it, great, maybe you fix your relationship. Maybe that's what you wanted, that's what you needed. But even though if you follow through, if you said no more chances, I want you to let her go in a way that you, as I said yesterday, you're going to be clean like a whistle. You're going to be pristine. Because again, whatever you do, it tells more about you than about her. And I want you to be in a position that no matter what happens, so you'll be able to say that I did everything I could to act like a gentleman, to, even though she drives me nuts and maybe she hurt me, I want to be the one who is having, I'm pristine in how I acted. So whatever our relationship will look like in a year or two, maybe we're going to be friends, maybe we're never going to see each other again. But I want to be a person that if I have to do something hurtful, because it's going to hurt, definitely, you and her, definitely, especially if you've been with each other for longer than just 2 weeks, it's going to be hurtful. And I want her to think about me that maybe it was tough, maybe it was the perfect time for us to split, but the way he did this, he was completely gentleman. I have nothing to complain about. He showed me the list. I know exactly what was wrong, and he was nice and he was kind, and I have to respect that. Respect that in him, or you know what I'm saying. This is what makes you, what puts you in a position like a winner in whatever happens. Because if you tell her, get out of my face, scream at her, say some nasty words about her, think about how she's gonna think about you in a year or two. You're gonna exactly do opposite what you want to do, because you split with her because something was bad, and this is exactly the bad behavior that she might want to split with you. So if you, at the end of this whole story, you're just gonna show yourself from this negative perspective, you just lost. So that's why I know maybe it's insane, maybe I'm insane. But know why you want to do this. Know that this is valid, and then be a gentleman. If that's the last time that you are together, make it pristinely. And point number 3, I want you to understand one simple truth, and why I would even paint this whole picture why you should go this way. You've got to know that life is a nasty thing. It's going to teach you a lesson whether you like it or not, because karma is a bitch. And for you, my Christian friends, whatever you sow, you're going to reap. So if you think that you're going to end up your old relationship, by, destroying everything, and, making, saying the worst things that you ever said to the person that you supposedly been in love with some time ago, it's going to come back to you. And if you ended it this way, or you ended it on some bad note, don't be surprised if that's going to happen with you from the opposite side, from her side, in your next relationship. Because whatever you will sow, you will reap. It will come back to you. So that's why it's not only about feeling good as being a gentleman. And it's not only feeling good because maybe she'll respect me, because that's not really about her, it's about you. Because how you do anything is how you do everything, like the American people say, right? So it's more about you being aware that how I build my life, it's gonna come back to me. If I'm kind, if I'm nice, if I'm respectful, it's gonna come back to me. But if I'm cheating, if I'm lying, if I'm letting my girl go just because I got bored or find someone else, or maybe I cheated, not her, and I'm dumping her just because to cover up my thing and go to the next girl, it's gonna come back to you. And don't be surprised if life is gonna bite you in your behind, and you're gonna be treated the same way next time. So that's the negative picture. But if you go positive side, maybe it's not gonna come back to you tomorrow, but you'll be surprised how what you kind of emanate or project to universe, life, people, that's gonna come back to you. So observe, because it's gonna be surprising to you. And especially when something goes wrong, you want to keep your eye on how you behave, how you act, and be sure that you're gonna do it as it's supposed to be done. Because this is what I want you to take from this video. Whatever you're doing in life is gonna tell a lot about you to yourself. And that's why you want to have control over your life. And if you want to build your life rather than destroy it, whatever you do, watch yourself, observe yourself, and be sure that whatever you do it to the highest standard possible. Because then you'll understand why your maybe next girl, or the girl that you decided to rebuild your relationship with, why she respects you. Because you are someone that when you look at yourself in a mirror, you say, yeah, I would respect that kind of guy. But you have to be that kind of guy to be able to say something like this. So think about it and do something about it, and be sure that whatever you're gonna do, it's gonna come back to you. So play this game right. If you liked this video, comment. If you didn't, comment as well, or just give me a shout. What do you think? What's your point of view on that? And if there's anything you want me to record about, give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it. That being said, see you tomorrow.